It's kind of silly. I thought we had him for a second, but then, yeah. My little squishy mage can't handle those big bad boys. We could aim to get the level up before we fight him. That should be doable. Because I think even if we door cheese him, well, if I door cheese him, then he should never be able to strike me, I guess. Did I pick up the potion? I did. I feel like... Yeah, well, I know we don't have enough healing items, but that's only because I didn't cheese him. Has anyone tried the Electromancy/Spears combo? No. I'm thinking I saw another guy doing Electromancy staves on a stream. VJM, who's also a viewer on this channel here. So you can check him out. I think it's VJM75 on Twitch. But that's not spears. Will you be getting some of the mobility skills in the athletics tree? No. So the idea for this build, this entire playthrough here, is to go pure electromancy and magic mastery. I want to explore those trees in depth, and so we are not doing anything else. Also because Jonna has that trait, the magical erudition. So whenever we pick magical things, we get extra experience gain, which I think is really cool. So we get rewarded for staying true to the magic. I think if we were playing permadeath and played like a not to learn about electromancy but played to win the game, yeah, then yes, I would get some athletic skills. This should be fun. Yeah, so he's not resonating anymore, even though he keeps the static field. Fair enough. Still have 3 resonating enemies. Oh, no, you don't. Ah, he face tanked for his friend. Oh, right. We could die here, technically. Ah. We'll be fine. He has a -2. Sick. Oh, I'm out of energy. Okay, that was actually like a hard fight. Damn. But we get a very nice tool here for the boss fight. If we net him... Should have thought of that. We should definitely have had a net. I should always have a net. The nets are just too good. Man, dog's best friend. Ha, nice. Have you ever tried the Electroman Spears? The knockbacks and the 2 tiles back attack range with skills? I would be wary of mixing any kind of spell build with any kind of not spell weapon skill, because they would increase your spell cost, except for the staves, of course. And I think daggers can be done fully too without increasing spell cost. So that would be my recommendation. It's not a perfect one. I'm sure there's someone who can make a build with that. But it's definitely, you're applying penalties to yourself that you don't need to have, I think. Said the guy who's carrying a long flail in the offhand, right? But this is only for when spells are done for the fight. I will use the flail instead. And you can have the same kind of mentality with the spears, I suppose, where you open with spears, you sit there and do all your... So you open with spells, and then when you're at some point in the fight, you go, well, done with spells, you switch into the spear, and then you do spear skills for the rest of the fight. Could be done. I hope they find a way to make hybrid builds more viable. I mean, it's viable. More viable? Not sure if it needs to be more viable, because then I think it would be too strong. Because I think it is strong as omnipotent jests. It's just like a little bit anti-synergetic, which is good, because otherwise it would be insanely overpowered, I think. Anyway. Nikev. Nikev into Seal of Power, into Potion of Stone Skin, into Make Yourself Throw Up. Could be done. Nah, I don't... How bad is this? No. Into Seal of Reflection, then inside. Take that. Oh, he's immobilized there. I wanted him to step up. I'm gonna die here. Oh, we got lucky. Fun. And there's the level up. Nice. And I think we decided that this level I will not be spending any skills because oh no, I do need the potential difference anyway at some point. What did I get last level? What? Oh, that's right. I didn't plan to go for the Seal of Reflection, but then I did. Fair enough. I still think that's a decent pick. We haven't encountered... We literally have not encountered a mage yet since I picked that spell. So... It'll be great someday. Eat this cur, he says, and then promptly dies. I aggroed the boss. I meant to close the door so we wouldn't have to aggro him. Damn it. Because I want to go outside and rest up, of course. Gosh darn it. Yeah, we're overeating. So we get extra healing efficiency. There. Good enough? No. There, good enough. This is not good. But again, we can door cheese him. So, let me try to play it without the door cheese first. Which looks like this. He's out of it. 74% still. And the net is gone. 54. We cannot avoid getting jumped by him at all. Like, if I come back... No, if I go out and then come back in, I'm gonna spawn in this spot and he won't have the jump on me. And so he'll mighty swing. Yes, I think. I like the idea of a spell sword, but like I said, I think you can play it and it will be just... Maybe... I mean, I think it can work. Don't let me tell you otherwise. I think it can definitely work. I just think it will be the most optimal build, but you can. There's only one build that's the most optimal build, and then you would go like, why would you ever play anything else? No, because it's fun. Because you can try out fun ideas in Stoneshard and try to make it work. So, by all means, don't let me hold you back. Just be aware of the negatives that you are applying to yourself, and then if you can work around it somehow, then you're good. Oh, he retains the mighty swing, of course, as I come back in. Ah, there's the thing that I didn't think about, and now we did. I can beat him. Definitely. So, that one, I played it kind of poorly. But what we need is a quick shopping trip. Yeah. Do we maybe plan to stream tomorrow? Well, you know what? It is tomorrow here in Denmark, so yes. No, but we are not about to be done streaming. I'm gonna stream until I drop, and then I will not stream the day after that, no. So we've done like 4 hours now. That doesn't feel like a whole lot. So there's a lot of stream left in this one. How do we beat him? Brandy. I need to bring more food, first of all. There. No, I was going to bring more medical supplies, and I want to go to the hunter guy. I hope he's still here. Yeah. Feels like he's always here now. I think it was supposed to be random initially, whether or not he was there or not, but now he's always here. I was hoping for a Death Stinger jar or a claw trap. The smoke bomb. We can make him cough, and that would give him lowered accuracy and increased fumble chance, which would be a pretty big deal. But I can't hit him inside the smoke, of course. So I would have to sort of try to apply the cough and then walk backwards while he comes out of the smoke. I don't think that's the play. That seems too convoluted. Do you sell a claw trap by any chance? No. Oh, here's the next tier of gloves that I was talking about. Why are we not just making this upgrade right now? Answer: we are making that upgrade right now. Yes. Easy choice. It lowers my shock resistance, which... Oh, I do hit myself with shock when I backfire. So, that's kind of interesting. That's right. What happened? I picked up my own potion. Detect triggers the claw trap. What claw trap? This is Dietrich. It says he stepped in a claw trap. There's no claw trap here. Thank God we just saved. What the hell? Stoneshard. I want a claw trap. Oh, okay. See you around important. Don't forget that it's on YouTube, so you can always check it out what happened after you left. But thank you for stopping by. It's been a while since I played. They did add traps to the game, didn't they? Indeed. Are they viable to use? I think they are absolutely essential to use. I'm not very good at remembering to do so, but I think traps are amazing. They're a little bit expensive, but absolutely worth it. And they did lower the price on the traps at some point. They initially were so expensive that I would never use them, but then they've sort of reduced the prices a bit, which is really good. They are also really powerful, but you know, money can be tight sometimes. So caltrops is an example, and then we have claw traps. Those are the only two traps that the player can place. And then you have smoke bombs and death stinger jars. And I feel like there's another thing, the net, of course. I would love to buy a net. It was random that we found a net before. Where's the claw trap, Dietrich? I'm not sure what to make of that. Now he stepped into the same tile and there was nothing. Okay, so that is a bug. We found one. Boom, 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 boom. What can you sell me? Nothing that would help. An enchantment scroll. Oh, they've significantly reduced the prices of the enchantment scrolls. Oh. I think I said earlier in the stream that they were not worth buying because they were so expensive. Let me rephrase that. Or change my mind on that. There you go. We got physical resistance 3%. Nice. And health plus 5. Lovely. Enchantment scrolls are much better now, guys. Buy enchantment scrolls. I didn't know. That's a third of the price that they used to be. Okay. We have done some things to min-max our current setup a little bit. We've gotten new hand slots and then new enchantments on things. I bought caltrops. We have more medical supplies, more food, and an antidote to get rid of the intoxication that we initially take as we go into the dungeon. So now we will go back to the dungeon and attempt it again after saving, of course. And then we'll see. I'm sure I can beat that guy. Good night. Oh, you're saying goodbye to Omnipotent. Good enough. I also feel like we haven't had any insanities for a while, but we're not like high on sanity. Did you by any chance reshuffle your inventory? You did not. We could... I hate that the bedroll is so big. We could buy the bedroll and then save right outside the dungeon, of course. But then I would have to drop some stuff. Okay. First time ever, Keejchen buys a bedroll. Boom. How do I feel about crafting in the game? Never used it. The bedroll is the only thing we can craft, right? Or are you referring to the future of crafting? I think I would love to be an alchemist in the game when that comes out. I always liked alchemy in games. It's fun. In The Witcher, I was all about being that potion prep guy. Both current and future. Well, I think the future is... the current is kind of boring. It's only the bedroll that we can forge, or craft. And, it's so expensive to craft it. Like, you need what? You need a pelt, some rope, and some straw. And there are no... I think I know where I would find straw, and I can, of course, if I have skinning, I can get a pelt, and we find pelts everywhere, so I could save some. But rope is not, like, something you can buy, as far as I'm aware. So you would have to know where to find rope, and then you have I think I know some spots for rope, but that would be like a finite resource. It's weird. But they're taking the first baby steps into crafting, and I think that's amazing. So that's how I feel about the crafting. Oh, we get the same fight here? That would be lovely. Let me level up again. Oh, and now they're next to each other. Look at that. More are coming, though. My magics are too powerful. You can't handle my strongest magics. There's the net. That's good. That's where we get a net. I actually have to let him throw the net at me to get it. I forgot about that, but everything's fine now. Except, of course, I don't have room for the net. And we're pretty far from the dungeon. Can't have everything. I think we're gonna ignore the net. Skarsnik's back. Seems like the balance might be hard to get if you need to spend skill points to unlock crafting. Yeah, well the balance is hard to get right no matter what you do in this game, I think. But I've always said that the good thing about single player games is that it doesn't have to be balanced. You know, the AI doesn't care if you cheese it. For building an interesting gameplay experience, you do need a somewhat balanced game. And that's why I sometimes point out if I think something is OP, it doesn't mean that it makes the game unplayable. It just means like we could reduce it and it would make it more fun. Sometimes it gets unfun if you're too strong, and of course the game gets unplayable if you're too weak. So there's all that kind of stuff to consider. But I mean, if you're putting a point into learning how to craft a potion, or a poison to be fair, yeah, then that's just your ability. That's like being able to punch something in combat, or deploy a buff or something, to drink a potion instead. And you just gotta think about it that way, I think. And I will get the potential difference. I will get the willpower. Tit spotted. Tee. I really don't want to fail him again, but I guess that's why we brought the bedroll. Now I can save scum until we get him. It's also a really, really, like, nasty dungeon in general. Alright. But it's kind of fun. I love the challenge. So let's see how a bedroll works for the first time ever in Keejchen's playthrough. I would assume we just plop it down like right here. Set. Boom. And then we can click on it to rest. Just like that. Okay. It's a one-time thing. I did not know, so I'm never gonna put a skill point into bedrolls. It's never gonna happen. It's just so bad. Like, what if, just throwing that out there, what if you combined to make a halt with skinning as like a survival basics kind of thing with the campfire too? You could, instead of giving us campfire for free, plop these 3 into survival basics. And one skill, you learn all those 3 things. That would be worth a skill point. When will they add dwarf holds? There are dwarfs in this world, Skarsnik, and so I assume in the future. Definitely not confirmed by anyone. Here we go, Seal of Power. Potion of Stone Skin into Seal of Reflection. And then we try one more time. Ah. Okay, so we can almost always win this fight. That's nice. Not without a few scratches, but we lived. Do. Water. Okay, so now the tricky part. And let's see, he comes through here, then he steps up there. So this would be where we throw the caltrops down. Yes, and then I gotta remember not to step in the caltrops. Oh, he's coming already. Okay, I thought we hadn't aggroed him yet. Great. No net this time. Oh, he must have spotted the trap. Okay. So we gain literally nothing out of that, except for a chance for... And it says here he disarms the claw trap and succeeds. Okay. So a little bug there. I'm like Batman. I need prep time. I guess we have all the things. I guess we take the Seal of Reflection back on. That stuns us for 2 turns. We lived through that. Nice. Okay, so we can stay in this fight. Try to knock him away. We didn't get it. Okay. Shouldn't have punched him there. That wasn't worth it. I need to go outside. And he doesn't get to heal up here. So that's something. I'm actually not supposed to have satiated when we fight him, because this lowers my dodge chance, and dodging those swings are the best way to counter them. So should we wait here for 60 turns now? Yeah. What if you clear a whole dungeon first and then kite him through the dungeon? I would love to, but he aggroed on me before I was even ready for him this time. But for sure, you're right. That's what I would love to do. I guess. What does this Seal of Cleansing do? When used on yourself, you gain 6 turns per each removed positive effect. Lower extra miracle chance and lower damage taken. I'm wondering if it would be worth turning on the reflection and then cleansing it, but no. This is a better buff. Okay, are we ready? Yeah. Not really, but what can we do? We gotta try. Oh. Oh, he still has Mighty Swing. So what we're hoping to do, of course, is to knock him back. What is your move resistance, sir? You must have insane move resistance. 35? Okay, he just doesn't get knocked back all that much. Impulsi, I think, has the highest knockback chance. Didn't get it. Okay, so then Static Field. Then we try to knock him back again, breaking his Mighty Swing. Didn't get it. Short Circuit. And he died. Okay. Didn't need the bedroll after all. Let's run through the rest of the dungeon. I guess I'll loot this room. There might be something cool here. So we had a bit of RNG working our way that time. I'm not sure. I think we were a little bit unlucky the first few tries, getting stunned so much. Or maybe we were just really lucky this time, not getting stunned the 2 second times. Either way, it worked. GG's. Thank you, sir. And now we don't have to stay and fight the rest if we don't want to. So we'll be very careful here, because they are still out of my league, technically, I think. But we've shown that we can kill them. Must be close to death. Oh no, he is not. And they have that jump thing too. Not that guy, but the other one does, for sure. Yeah. Which means that we are likely to die here. I can try to kite them in here, maybe. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, and they finally got immobilized here. There's the first one down. Wait, what? He de-aggroed? Oh, he can't figure out how to get over here. There. Sad. That's not what I wanted to do with my turns. Good. Oh, he's got the long flail. This is where you find the long flail then. At level 10. So we had that at level like 2, I think. It's pretty impressive. Look for traps. I'm looking for traps, don't worry. All the time. We found a mage. Hallelujah. Range 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 steps closer. Ah, and he missed. See, I'm not the only one who does it. Amazing. Ooh, a staff. Oh, and it's a healing staff. Ooh. So it may outclass the one we have, because this one's enchantment is pretty bad, so almost certainly it does. Yeah. This book we've seen before, yeah. Here's a trap. That's a high tier axe dude. That one. That one. Too late for the seal, I think. %. Dorian long axe. I think that's actually like worth selling. Oh, I have 2 purses. Right. Oh, he's got a dash. I feel fairly confident. I'm just gonna throw the boss fight into the drain if we die here, though. So it's we can do it. Right. That is a nasty hit. No way! I should not have continued in this dungeon. We have no mana now. It's 51. I need him to be stun locked or immobilized or something. Come on. Do you drink from the Verifying Essence again, maybe? We would get like 15 health, but it wouldn't affect my energy right now. Okay, we're getting lucky. I think stepping away is the right choice. He's gonna punch me anyway, you know? So, better to have a chance of not being hit. But there's the knockback, finally. Whew. Okay, let's fix the head. Before that becomes problematic, and there he died. We are done with this dungeon now. For sure. That was it. The tipping point. I mean, I'm gonna loot until we find an enemy, and then run away from it. Oh, but here's a new book. A complete description of Nistrian lands. Okay, 75 XP, sure. Do over here. Free caltrops, okay. A very cautious approach here. Oh no, you're kidding me. Lurking around the corner, that little bastard. Now, if I step away from him here, he's gonna have to step up there, and then we can keep running. Which means I actually have an escape option here. And so I will try. But then he pulls me to him there. So that was a terrible decision. Right. There's the stun though. Oh, okay, yeah. It's 45. I said I wouldn't fight anymore here. And look at me now. The greed. Nice. Okay. $44. So close, GG. We didn't die. Everything's fine. Trying to remember the mechanics. Are you able to throw bottles? Yes, we can throw anything. Basically, everything can be right-clicked and then thrown. Everything has their own throwing stats. Bonuses and damage that they will do. The range that you can throw them. Stuff like that. So, daggers and one-handed axes and spears are meant for throwing. Those are the weapons that are good for throwing. The other ones are just like, well, trash. But can still be thrown for maybe damage, right? I think they get penalties and stuff. But daggers, one-handed axes, and spears are really good for throwing. And I have thought that I should be using it more. And in fact, I think I have gotten better at using it. But it's just something you gotta remember to do more often, and put a spear in your inventory when you find one, and just keep it for throwing in niche cases. That's really nice. That is a high tier dude. It's a deserter. He has onrush, which is range 4, and he has dash. That means that I am dashing for the door. No, I say to the Stoneshard, no thank you. Nope. Nope. Can you increase the damage of electromancy by throwing water? That's something I hadn't thought of. Interesting idea. Being wet gives you an electromancy or a shock debuff, a shock resistance debuff. So yes, probably. I mean, it's pretty cheap to do, I suppose, so there's no reason not to. I guess I'll try it. Why not? Yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't work. I don't know if it applies the wet debuff if we throw like a flask of water. But I don't see why it wouldn't. That would make perfect sense. So... And the flask sells for like 1 gold. And it costs nothing to fill it with water. So I'm saying if we have a turn where we're not doing anything else, then we could throw a bottle of water. Yeah, why not? That sounds like a fun thing to try out. It probably doesn't... so wetness comes in 4 stacks. And I would assume that it only applies the first stack of wetness, which means that it would be very little shock resistance debuff. But you know... Stoneshard is also, it's all about the min-maxing the little numbers, and so I think we will try it. At least once. I'm getting hungry, and I don't think I have any snacks around. I had a loaf of bread, but it was rotten this morning, so I don't have any sandwiches to make. But I might have to take a short break soon and eat something. Anyway, we have successfully beaten that very, very tough dungeon. And I thought we were kind of ahead of the curve, you know, level-wise and power-wise, but clearly that's not the case. Not for that dungeon, anyway. So... something to keep in mind. And now we didn't get to clear the whole dungeon, which means we are, as far as sticking to the curve or staying on the curve, we've lost a bit of XP by not clearing the dungeon. At least that's how I look at it. So we are going to Bryn for the next contract, so I say we just head there right now. Because we've done a loop of contracts in Manshire, I'm thinking that maybe the Manshire contracts are now actually harder than the Bryn dungeons, but I'm not sure. This is a barbed healer staff with a bleed chance on it. Okay, so that is better than my current crippling healer staff. Sure. I'll save this one for later. It's a surprise tool that we will need later. The purse, sure. Nothing else here, no. We are going to Bryn. Oh. Are you from Denmark? Yes, I am. I am a Dane. Both in birth and residence. Wait, hold on. I think didn't Varen say something about me coming back later? It's certainly later now. Christy worked in Copenhagen years ago. Just recognized the accent. Gorgeous city. Well, really? I don't have a Danish accent. Maybe a bit. Maybe more than I realize. The Danish accent is very specific, at least in my ears. What did you do in Copenhagen then? And where are you from, if I may ask? That's interesting that you worked in Copenhagen for a year and then had to go away again. Just sound like a few people I've worked with. Okay. Well, you would know better than I. It's not often that I hear Danes speak English, you know. Any questions? Okay, see you later. Is there anything in the quest log for that? Bribery wasn't invented in Britain. Nice. No, it doesn't look like we have like a quest for Oh no. Oh, so dumb. I didn't pick up the quest item for the quest in Manshire. We technically have a save up there, and then I would have to defeat that boss again. But we haven't really done anything after that. Oh, that's so dumb. I won't make that in time, I think. I was chased out of the dungeon, so then I forgot about it.